There we go. All right. Hopefully everyone can see this. But this, if you go to www.icloud.com, this is what you will see to log into your iCloud account. You see you need to enter your Apple ID there, and then you'll need to enter your password, and then it will give you access to the following. And these are the things we just talked about. It'll give you access to your mail, your contacts, your calendar, your Find My iPhone, and your iWorks documents. As you notice, there's nothing in here to access your photos for PhotoStream. Let's go to the next slide here. Okay. If you click on the Mail tab and you set up an account using your email address, whatever you want to set it up at me.com, it will bring you into this panel here where you have a full featured web application, and it allows you to, of course, send messages, create folders. You can sort messages. It looks very similar to mail on an iPad or an iPhone. Okay, this is one of the messages when I signed up for my iCloud account. It sent that message over to me, so that's what they look like. Let's see. Over in the top right-hand corner here, you have the little tool or the gear. If you click on that, it will give you the option to look at the preferences. You can set up rules. Of course, you can empty your trash. And again, it's really a full-featured email application. Composing a message, once you click that, it'll bring up a new message window for you. One of the great things about it is if you do create groups in your contacts, like I have a group that was I created titled Family, which has 5 members in it. You can use those groups directly in your email. So if you type the group, it will automatically populate the to field with the messages, with the addresses that are in that group, which is a really cool feature. Some of the options that you have under settings are, of course, here's your account information. We talked about an option of adding a few aliases. So here on the bottom, you have the option to add your 3 alias addresses. This, again, is your email address here. And you can, of course, have a description and a full name for your account. These are just some options for composing messages where you can do things with your blind carbon copy things, and in terms of your identify yourself. You can even add a custom signature here as well in the bottom if you desire. And then, of course, you have rules. You can set up rules if you want to filter and or send email addresses to additional folders or delete them, or whatever, pretty much whatever you want to do. You have the option of setting up rules to help you manage your incoming messages. And then there's also a vacation option. If you're out of the office, then you can go ahead and set up an automatic reply when someone sends you a message. So again, it's a full-fledged email application. Here's a view of contacts, and when you log into iCloud, on all of your applications, you'll see this little cloud here in the top left-hand corner. That by clicking that cloud, it will take you back to the home panel, the first screen that you see when you log on to your cloud account. We're having a little background noise here. I hope you guys aren't hearing that, but some people seem to be working in the office next to us, and hopefully that noise isn't coming through. So again, on the bottom of your contacts here, you have a little gear. You can go ahead and click that. You have your preferences. Of course, you can add new contacts. You can delete them. You can actually print, if you want to go old school and print a physical address book, you can actually print an address book here. You can also, you see, you can import and export V-cards as well. Here's your calendar. This is a very similar exact view to what your calendar looks like on your iPad and or your iPhone. Basically, you have the same day, week, month, year. You have lists. You have notifications here. You'll also have a configuration tool here where you can add calendars and see different calendars if you have access to them. You have the option of setting reminders over here as well, and they're all synchronized with your devices as we spoke about earlier. Let's see what else we have here. Here's an option of looking at some of your shared calendars. You can see you have multiple calendars here. You can select, if I deselect, for instance, travel and or vacation or spy belt, it will remove those items which are listed here from that calendar. There's also an option here that if any changes are made to the calendar that you're sharing with somebody or you have access to their calendar, you can select the option to receive an email when there are any changes to the calendar. And this is a list of a view of your notifications. So if someone does send something new to your calendar, you will get a notification in it. You can decline it, you can accept it, or you can say maybe, and then we'll add or deny or whatever. It'll add that information to your calendar. Okay, here is a quick view of the Find My iPhone or whatever. As you can see, when I did this, took a snapshot of this, I have a MacBook Air and I have an iPad. So what will happen is it will take a few moments to locate that device, and on a map it will show me exactly where that device is. It is actually very precise, and it does work very quickly, and I actually find it very useful when sometimes I do misplace my iPad in my house or in my car or something of that nature, so it's actually very easy for me to go out and locate it. Again, your device has to be on, it has to be connected to Wi-Fi, and or it has to have a 3G connection for this to work. And so again, this is just accessing it from the web panel. So if you don't have that application on one of your other devices to Find My iPhone or Find My Friends per se, then you can always come to the web panel and try to locate your device. Okay, let's go to the next slide here. This is documents, the iWorks documents. So as you see at the top of the page here, you have an option for the keynote pages or numbers documents. And these are just a couple of documents that I just automatically just went ahead and uploaded using Pages. The documents are basically sorted according to what type of document it is as well. Again, you have a gear here on the right, which allows you to do things as upload documents and download documents, to sort documents by different options, by names or what have you. Oh, excuse me, duplicate and download documents, not sort them. Oh no, you can sort them by name, but you can delete a document, you can duplicate it, you can download it, or if you have a Microsoft Word document that I spoke about earlier, or a text file that you would like to upload, this is where you would go to do that, and you select the document, and it will go ahead and update it to the appropriate tab. If you click on one of the documents, and we talked about this, then that gives you the option of downloading that document to either the application it was created in, Pages 09, and those are the versions that you need to use with iCloud, the latest versions. You can download it and it'll convert it to a PDF document, or you can download it to a Word document. And when I tried this as a Word document, it was one of the older versions of Microsoft Word, I think maybe like a 2004 version, but was compatible with some of the newer versions, or for those that don't have a newer version, I was able to open that document as well. And then under to reset your photo stream, which will again erase all of the pictures from your photo stream, if you go under settings on the main page, and I'll go back to the slide to show you that, there's an option there that says advanced. Once you click advanced, you will receive, you'll see this screen where it says reset photo stream, which will remove all photos from the cloud, and it will not remove any photos from your devices or computers, meaning granted you've already saved them there, and won't remove those photos from any of those devices. I think that's the last slide there. So let's go ahead and right? Stop sharing. Now, I was, here you go ahead and do that. I'll keep talking. I was looking at some of the questions that were coming across. You do need, in order to run iCloud on your computer, you do need to have Lion, the latest operating system for Apple. You do need to have Lion, and you do need to have iOS 5 located on your iDevices, your iPod, your iPad, your iPhone. You need to have those operating systems installed in order to access or utilize iCloud. If you have a Windows computer and you just want to access it via the web, you just need to download the tool that I mentioned earlier, and that would allow you to configure it on your computer. It will allow you to set up any Outlook, calendars, or emails, or things of that nature, email accounts. That tool will allow you to successfully complete that and do things such as set up your photo stream as well. If you don't have Outlook on your Windows computer and you just want to set up photo stream and have those pictures stored to a Windows computer, you can do that as well.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do questions now. So we're going to filter through these and try to get to everyone. However, if we don't get to you, we will respond via email following the webinar. So our first question is from Melissa, and it says, is iCloud only available for Apple, Mac product users, or is it available for PC, Android tablet users as well?
I don't know of any capability for tab or Android tablet users to access it. The only thing that I can think of is if you get to a browser on your Android or your tablet, then you could actually access or log into your iCloud panel from that point. You could then upload a document or something of that nature, or look at a calendar or something of that nature. But it doesn't have any integration with any of those products as I know of today.
Okay. Our next question is from John, and it says, now that most wireless providers use limited data plans, how much data transfer is used by iCloud, and how do you make sure you don't go way over your data limits at high cost?
I'm not sure of what I think your data in terms of iCloud is just based on what your device is pushing. I don't know the ranges or the limits, but I don't think it's anything extraordinarily greater than what you're probably pushing to check your email or to do anything like that, of any nature like that. My suggestion would be to contact your provider, and you can access reports for when you started using iCloud and see what your data consumption rate, if it's gone up any more or less. But I don't know of any actual statistics that say what the amount of data is being pushed across using iCloud. Only thing I can guess and say is that it's probably pretty minimal, unless you're a high user. Then I think it's pretty minimal.
Okay. Our next question is related to the email. And earlier you mentioned that you need a me.com address. Does a mac.com address also work?
To use email, no, you need a at me.com to use the mail and iCloud. I know that if you have a .mac account, or not .mac, if you use MobileMe, that there are some tools in which you can actually migrate your MobileMe over to iCloud, and it will migrate most of your data. I know that MobileMe was extended, the use of it was extended through, I think, the end of June of this year. It was supposed to end earlier, but they did extend it. So, but to answer your question, I think you do need a at me.com account to use your email.
Okay. And then I know we've had a lot of these questions, but people are asking, do you need to be on Lion OS or Mountain Lion OS?
You need to be on Lion, the latest version, 10.7. I think it's 1 or 2 right now, but the latest version of Lion is what you need in order to use iCloud.
Our next question is from Leslie, and it's, what is the difference between iCloud and Time Machine as far as backing up your documents?
Well, iCloud will only back up a portion of your documents from your iDevices, and Time Machine will work with your computers, for instance, your desktop computer and or your laptop computer. So there is a little bit of a difference. You have more control, of course, with Time Machine because you can back up more of your either your data or more of your applications. iCloud backup is just a limited version of that, and of course you can select what you do store, but it is a limited version of Time Machine. I would suggest that you still, if you're backing up your computer, your desktop or your laptop, I would suggest that you still use Time Machine to do that.
Okay, and then will iCloud also sync up with a Google Calendar?
No, as far as I know right now, it will not sync up with a Google Calendar. The only thing it will sync with, of course, is the iOS devices and or your desktop or your laptop, and it will sync with an Outlook calendar, granted you use the Microsoft tool that you have to download for your Windows computers.
Okay, and then how useful is iCloud when only syncing computers? In other words, there are no iOS devices.
I mean, it works the same with computers. If you use a calendar on your computer, if you have a laptop and a desktop and you use a calendar, it's very useful. It works seamlessly, just as with an iOS device. So it will automatically add that information to calendars on both systems.
Great. And then we have a few more questions here. You do need Lion, the latest version of Lion, to get iCloud.
Correct.
So our next question is, does iCloud auto get or push all of the iBooks and PDFs to the cloud? And is it possible to turn it off?
It does push that information out, and you should be able to turn it off if you go into your settings on your iOS device and you scroll down to the applications on the bottom, typically on the bottom, on the left-hand side of your device, and then there will be an actual tab for iBooks, for your other applications, and then you should be able to go in there and turn that off easily.
Okay, great. And our next question is, did you say that documents stored in the cloud can be downloaded to other devices when traveling?
Yes, documents in the cloud can be downloaded. If you forget your iPad at home and you have access to a website on a computer, you can download that device to that computer. Of course, if you have multiple iDevices, if you upload a document or save a document in the cloud using your iPad and you have Pages or on your iPhone, you can download that document or have access to that document on your iPhone. So yes, you can download it to different devices.
Okay. And then our next question is, can an iPad device open iCloud documents without the key or the number?
I'm not sure if I understand. If you have an iPad and you have Pages and your iPad is running iOS 5 and the Pages document or the Keynote document or whatnot is stored in the cloud, you should be able to open that document. I'm going to guess when you're saying key that you're referring to a license, and once you purchase the application from the App Store, which is the only way you can purchase the Pages numbers or Keynote for your iDevices is through the App Store, then it's automatic. Your iTunes account keeps track of that, and there really isn't a key that you need to enter. It just has a record of what you've purchased, and then you should be able to access any of those documents that are in the cloud.
Okay. Our next question is there a window application needed to sync iCal?
Yeah, there's that download. If we flip back to a couple of slides there, we can show you, keep going, let's go back, one more, I think it is. Right there, if you download the iCloud control panel for Windows, that will allow you to synchronize your Outlook with your messages, your calendar, your photos. It'll just give you about 5 or 6 different options, and your contacts as well. You can sync those on your Windows computer. So if you just go out and Google iCloud Control Panel for Windows, you'll see the download for that.
Okay. And our next question here is there a conflict between my older Mac Pro, which has to remain on Snow Leopard for now because of a printer profile, versus Mac Pro and iPad, which are Lion, when connecting to iCloud to sync an older Mac?
Well, if you have an older Mac, then I don't think you're going to have the cloud, excuse me, the cloud-based services on that older Mac. So I don't think it's necessarily going to sync with that. Under your settings, whenever you install the latest version of the operating system that supports cloud, if you go under your settings in any of your devices, you'll see a separate panel that says Cloud, iCloud. And once you see that, if you do have that, then it should synchronize with any of your other devices. But if you're running an older operating system, then you're not going to see that, and you're not going to have the iCloud capabilities for that older computer.
Okay. Where does the photo stream show up on a MacBook Pro?
It shows up under iPhoto, and if you look on the left-hand side of the screen underneath where your library is, you'll actually see something that looks like an album, but it will say Photo Stream. Once you click that Photo Stream option, all of the photos that are stored have been taken by those other devices are in the Photo Stream, and it should actually put a copy of those photos just in your library, not in any album or anything of that nature.
Okay. And what about, okay, I think this next question is about switching from a family.mac account. Can you explain the conversion process?
I'm not sure what a family.mac account is, but if it's just a .mac account, then I think you're going to have to just switch it over to a .me account. If you did get that account through MobileMe or something of that nature, then there is a conversion tool for that as well. But I'm not quite sure how to interpret that question.
Okay. Is it possible to set up an email group?
You can set up a group in your address book, and I think I had a slide of that. I had a group called Family, so I just basically created the group in my address book, and when I used the email client, I was able just to type in Family in the to box, and then basically it added those addresses to that email that I was ready to send. So yes, you can set it up. You just have to do it in your address book. And hold on, let me see what the next question is here. Okay, I see. If I own iWork already for my Mac, do I have to purchase them for my iPhone 4S? If you purchased it from the App Store and it's the latest version of it, no, you don't have to. But if it's an older version of it, then you're going to need to purchase I think it's the 09 version for your iPhone 4S in order to access the cloud for those services. Okay. Excuse me. The next question is, would resetting photo stream lead to duplicating the photos back on your computer? I've heard of some issues with resetting photo stream. But I think when you do that, if you set up your import options on your iPhoto, not to import any duplicates, then once you re-enable your photo stream, that should not be an issue for those photos back on your computer. Okay, let's see. Next question. I have Lion and iOS 5 on my iPhone 4S. The photo stream does not show up in iPhoto. Make sure on your phone that you go into your settings, your iCloud settings, and make sure that you have photo stream turned on so that the photo stream will show up. And you might want to check on your iPhoto on your computer. You might want to check your settings as well in iPhoto to make sure that photo stream is on. Again, everything is configurable. Some things you can turn off and some things you can turn back on. But if you ever have an issue with any of them, you always want to go to your settings to make sure it's on each of the devices that you do want to use cloud services. Let's take one more question, and then we're going to go ahead and I think end. Let's see. Let's see. The tool, I just see that here. The tool to download was iCloud Control Panel for Windows. If you Google that, you can see that. And the last question, let's see, can you access the cloud from any computer at another location? Yes. You can log into www.icloud.com and access all of your information. iCloud using music. Okay, do you have any insight on using iCloud for music? There's iTunes are in the cloud, so if you do purchase something from iTunes, it will automatically push those purchases out to your other devices. If you do want to store additional songs in the cloud that you did not purchase from iTunes, there's a service called iTunes Match. It's for $25 a year. It will allow you to upload and store any songs on your computer or in your iTunes library that you did not purchase from iTunes. Again, it's called iTunes Match. I think it's a $25 per year service. I'm not sure how much space they give you, but any songs that you did not purchase via iTunes, you can upload those and store those in the cloud, and they will be pushed out to your other devices. Otherwise, anything that you do buy from iTunes, music will automatically be pushed out to those devices. And of course, iTunes and the App Store as well, they keep a record of what you've purchased so you can see the songs you've purchased. And if you need to download any songs again, if something happens to your device, or you need to download any applications that you previously purchased, you can easily do that using the cloud and get your devices back to the point where they were before the incident.
Great. Okay, it looks like we're out of time here. We've actually run a little bit over.